Hey YouTube, Novastar here again, and today I'm bringing you a deck profile on my Shadow Paladin Witches deck. It's still not complete. I'm missing 4 cards off it, but it's up and running and it's working pretty well. It's quite fun to use. It's actually really fun to use. I couldn't get my box. I didn't bother to record my box openings. I got home from work. I was tired, and I just basically opened my boxes yesterday and then built the deck, had a few test games with a friend, and then basically went to bed. That was pretty much all I did once I got home from work. But I am going to give you a deck profile, and I have got some news which I'll announce probably in the next video of my other deck profile that I promised you guys, which is an update on my Rebirth deck. But anyway, so I'm using this Witch starter, Witch of Banquets La. For those of you who don't know what she does, you can put her into the soul when this unit attack hits a Vanguard. During a battle, this unit boosted if your Vanguard is in Legion. You may pay the cost, which is put her into the soul. Search your deck for 2 grade 0s and call them in rest. Oh God, focus. It's not focusing. Why? I don't know. Stupid phone. There we go. So you can get 2 grade 0s out your deck. I don't know. A lot of people say she's bad, but there's a reason why I run her. And I'll tell you that when I get to them. My grade 3 lineup, I still have only 1 Fiona. I do need 3 more, but the deck still works fine. If you get this is just my mid boss. My deck isn't based on her. Don't get me wrong, she is extremely useful. When she's in Legion, she legions with the 12k attacker. I'll tell you who she legions with when I get to it. You can counterblast 2. Focus. Yeah, you can counterblast 2. Counterblast 2, choose up to 2 of your opponent's rear guards with rear guards in it, or rear guard circles with rear guard in it. Your opponent reveals 10 cards from the top of his or her deck. Chooses grade 0s equal to the number of rear guards chosen among them. Call those cards to separate rear guards and shuffle his or her deck. Now then, for those of you who don't know, if you select 2 rear guards and only 1 grade 0 is revealed, then you do not replace any. It does not say equal to or less. It has to be equal to the amount of rear guards you pick. So if you pick the full 2 and you only get 1 grade 0 in those top 10 cards, they don't replace any. So it's still, the chances of them not having to are very low, but still, it is bad when you don't. I mean, I did play it and I used her effect twice in one game, and one of the times there was like only 1 grade 0, which was really bad. Her second effect is you can choose a rear guard with the same name as a unit on your Vanguard circle, so either her, another Fiona, or her Legion mate. Retire it and draw 2 cards if the number of grade 0s your opponent has is 2 or more. Draw 2 cards even. So you use her effect, you get 2 grade 0s on the board, you destroy one of your cards, draw cards basically. So I run one of her. And then this card is possibly the main card that I play. She's the end game. And that is 4 copies of Cutlass Witch Riaz. I like her art, and she's a pretty cool looking card. So she legions. Choose one of your rear guards with Witch's name and retire it. When this unit legion, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's vanguards, and that unit gets 5,000 power for each of your opponent's grade 0s until the end of the turn. This can only be done on the turn she's legion, because it doesn't say while in legion, it's when she legions. Which is why she's a game ender, because you weaken their vanguard by like 10k to 20k. And basically you're attacking them for 20k plus. It's quite funny because it's harder to guard. And her other effect is Counterblast 2. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards. Reveal 5 cards from the top of his or her deck. Choose a grade 0 and call it to that rear guard and shuffle his or her deck. So basically, it's Counterblast 2. Half of this was effect, but for only 1. So she is still good. She gets grade 0s. You get your grade 0s on the board, and then you weaken your opponent's vanguard. So I would be running 4 of this and 4 Riaz, but obviously I only have 1 Fiona. So until I get more Fionas, I am running 3 of this witch, which is basically, she's just a vanilla witch, a vanilla legion. When she's in legion, she gains 5k when she attacks the vanguard. When she's on rear guard, she gains 2k when she attacks the vanguard. So she's a 12k attacker to vanguard, or a 25k attacking legion. On the grade 2s, I now have 3 Durandro, whatever her name is. I can't pronounce it, sorry. I need 1 more of her, and that's all I need. So I need 1 of this and 3 Fiona even, and my deck is done. I'm hoping to pick them up from my locals this week, if not at least some of them. Then this card's affected. Soul Blast 1, when this unit is placed on rearguard. If you have a Vanguard with Witch in its card name, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rearguard circles with a rearguard. Your opponent chooses a grade 0 from his or her drop zone and calls it to that rearguard. So she helps you replace, gets grade 0s from their drop zone onto the field, which is really good. You want to run 4 of this. I really like this card. I really like this deck. It's really fun. Like the Abyss deck, I've decided I've give up on it. I traded my Abyss stuff to my friend. I basically, in my 2 boxes, I pulled 1 Blaster Dark Abyss and 1 Revenger Phantom Blaster Abyss. Basically, they were my 2 triple rares. I sold them to my friend and traded them for some of his Witches stuff that I needed, which was 1 Riaz and 2 Quintets. And because we did some other stuff as well, but basically, and he bought the rest off me because he was building both decks, and now because we basically use each other's decks anyway, we both sort of decided, well, we might as well just build one of each deck each. And as I was closer to Witches, I went for Witches. You will still see a deck profile on the Abyss deck once it gets done. Don't worry, you will still see that. It just won't be as soon. For the next grade 2 is the 12k attacker, which is the Legion Mate Fiona. For Fiona. Pretty simple. If you have a Witch Vanguard, when she attacks, she gains 3k. Pretty stable. Oh, and this is the Legion Mate for Riaz. If I didn't mention it, I'm not sure. So you basically run 4 of the 12k attacker, because you want to maximize 4 of this, obviously for it being a 12k attacker, and 4 of this because you can use her over effect to draw 2 cards just by destroying one of them. So it's handy. Oh, and her second effect isn't a Legion requirement, so if you want to say you've got 3 in the drop zone, you can 2 of these in your hand, ride 1, call the other one, sack it, draw 2 cards, Legion. So yeah, 4 12k attackers because you want to get that. I'm running 1 Skull Witch Nemain, or whatever it is, just for that extra draw power, just as a one-off. She's really in here just for attack, because I didn't want to run all the 10k vanillas as much. I'm running 3 at the minute, but I'm taking one of them out for the Durandal, or whatever her name is. But I'm still running one of these because she's a good tech card to have. And if you do need to draw, she helps. And she also lets you ditch a card to get a card there in the drop zone for Legion. And then at the minute I'm running 3 10k vanillas because these Legion with the vanilla Legion. Where is she? Her? That's who they Legion with. I'll be taking one of these out, maybe 2, but one of them is definitely coming out for the Durandal that I'm missing. Onto the grade 1s. I'm running 4 quintets. Now I know some people go, why not just run 2 perfect guards and then the 2 witch quintets? Because I'm not doing that. For 1, I don't have the perfect guards. 2, I want to keep this deck pure witch because this isn't a competitive build, it's for fun. And come on, just look how cute this card is. She is so cute when it focuses. Come on. Focus. And my camera is being stupid. There you go. Look how cute this card is. This card is just so cute. Great, nice arc, and she's just so cute. So I'm running 4. Just because it's a quintet, it's a witch, and this deck is pretty counterblast heavy anyway, but it's still, there's ways to unflip damage, which I do have in the deck. Next, I run 2 of the Dragon Monk Gojo clone. You can rest her, ditch a card, draw a card. That's pretty much all she does. So I run 2. I'm running 2 10k attackers. If you have a Witch Vanguard, when she's in rearguard, obviously, and she attacks, she gains 3k. 2 of this card, which she's pretty cute as well. Choose a card from your hand, discard it when this unit is placed on the rearguard. If the number of grade 0 your opponent has is 2 or more, you may draw a card. So it's basically a ditch 1, draw 1, but the reason why I'm not running the rest one is because I'd rather run this one, because yeah, you don't have to use her effect, and if you do get her effect off sometimes when you're that desperate, it can come in handy. And then 4 of this witch, because it's Witch of Precious Stones, Dana. Basically, she's the grade 1 version of the grade 2 Soul Blast 1, replacing rearguard on the rearguard circle with a grade 0 from the drop zone. Sorry about that, yawn, I'm pretty tired. For my triggers, I'm running 4 crit. So 4 crit. And just so you know, she's called Black Crow Witch Elaine. And then there is the draw trigger, which is called Lizard Witch Elaine. They're both called Elaine. And so yeah, I'm running 4 of the Witch draw. And then the reason why I chose to run the Witch Star is because I run this stand trigger. The Witch of Goats Medby, whatever her name is. Her effect is, when she's called to rearguard, if you have a Vanguard Witch in its card name and the number of grade 0 rearguards your opponent has is 2 or more, you can soul charge 1 and unflip 1 damage. So this is why I run the starter, because you do the top 10 for Fiona, which is counterblast 2, and then you basically get 2 grade 0s on their field. You attack, she boosted the Legion, she goes to the soul. You call 2 of these out to rearguard in rest, unflip 2 damage. Basically, there's your next counterblast for your next turn. And then obviously I'm running 4 heal triggers that are off the Witch heal trigger. So this is my Shadow Paladin Witches deck so far. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you're new to my channel, remember to subscribe. And I don't just do Vanguard, even though most of my content recently is Vanguard. I do Weiss. I'm having issues with Weiss at the minute though, because well, if you watch the next video, it'll be announced. I'll tell you in the beginning of that video before I go into my next deck profile. So thanks for watching. Bye YouTube.